Yeah, it goes everybody, because today we'll continue on with a game called Absent in the Rain. Where were we? Here we go. The following day after school in the literature club room. I'm waiting alone in the club room, but there was no sign of Senpai coming. The small room is filled with suffocating silence. The sound of the rain falling outside can be heard strangely loud. A gray sky peeks through the window. It's the first time she hasn't come to club activity. The literature club is very laid back. Rather than a club activity, it'd be more correct to call it an after-school hangout, and that's exactly why I'm worried about her. I wonder if she has come to school. I'm worried, but I don't know what to do. Even if I ask her if her body's okay, she'd act as if nothing happened, so I wouldn't be able to say anything else. Frustration builds up and turns into irritation. All I can think of is Senpai and that shadow that caught my eye. The shadow that jumped out of the ground and probably ripped off her wrist before disappearing into the ground again. Yeah, what was that thing? Just what was that thing? Why would she try to keep its existence hidden? Should I also act like I saw nothing? My head rummages through my memories, pulls out the nationwide serial murder case. On the news, the number of casualties has increased by 1 again. Naturally, I connect the two incidents in my head. Isn't the shadow the one attacking people all over the country and not an ordinary murderer? If that were the case, it would explain why it has been so difficult to track down the criminal, as well as why the crimes are spread across the country. That could explain it. Is that possible? What was that shadow in the first place? Was it really there? Maybe what she had said about tripping is true, and the shadow has just been a product of my imagination. It's too confusing. Any speculation is like trying to grasp the sky. The only thing I can be sure of is that we're in a dangerously suspicious and mysterious situation. There's no point in thinking about it, so I leave the club room. I take out my smartphone from my pocket to see the time, but there's no news from Senpai. Cool. As I'm walking in the cloudy weather, something crawls up my neck. The sensation makes me want to scream, but I barely manage to hold back. Maybe an insect or something? I try to wipe my nape with my hand, but I can't get rid of that feeling. My neck is wet. The shuddering comes up to my ear. Tonight it will rain. Isn't it raining already? I'm shivering. A voice that sounds like it's coming from the depths of the earth makes my eardrums vibrate. Right. At the time of the boar, I shall await at the door of your dwelling. Something pops in my ear. When I cautiously touch my ear, my fingertips are wet. What has just happened? Fear like never before overcomes me. I feel like I've been touched by something I shouldn't have knowledge of, by something I should have never heard. How come I keep meeting things like these? I don't understand. All I can piece together is that something supernatural is haunting the town. It seems to be trying to get in touch with me. Yeah, why him specifically? What did he ever do? Poor guy. I'm caught in something. The fact that Senpai was attacked yesterday must be part of that. With uneasiness in my heart, I walk back home with heavy steps. I'm back, holy shit. Tonight it will rain. It's pouring just as the voice whispered in the daytime. At the time of the boar, I shall await at the door of your dwelling. The time of the boar. When I looked it up, it was from 10 p.m. to midnight. The time was close. I sit at the front door waiting for the time to come. I've turned off the lights in my room. My parents are already in bed. The house is pitch black. Amid that, I hunched over and endured the tension. My hands and feet are cold because of the tension. The back of my throat is tight. Maybe I could distract myself before if I waited outside rather than staying still. It's raining, so I grab an umbrella. Holding something in my hand makes me feel a little better. Like a weapon. 10 p.m. I don't like it. Putting the smartphone in my pocket, I stand up. I pick up my umbrella and unlock the front door, paying close attention to making as little noise as possible. Cold, rainy air rushes in through the crack of the open window. Both the entrance and outside are pitch black. I open my umbrella. I take a step outside and slowly close the door. It's my first time going out at this hour, especially when it's raining. The street lights near my house shine their light onto the wet pavement. I have the uncomfortable feeling of standing in the wrong place at the wrong time. I wonder if Senpai would pass by my house. I'd probably feel a little better then. Usually that would be impossible, but since we're talking about her, it might truly happen. Besides, I think this kind of atmosphere strangely suits her. I'm staring at the pitch black sky while thinking about such things, and when I look down, a wave runs through my body. Something is emerging from the ground. From where I stand on my feet and from the firm ground, it's rising little by little, as if a face were sticking out of water. What? It's like an optical illusion. Things I always took for granted are being shaken. I become uneasy. A fish. It's a shark? What the fuck? What's emerging is a huge shark? However, what's completely different from ordinary sharks are the gigantic human denture that appear as it surfaces. Human teeth are lined up in the mouth of the fish, the tongue contained in the back. They look like teeth that could easily bite iron. Rows of teeth put closely together. One single front tooth is as big as my spread out hand. Monster! Monster! My whole body is frozen. I feel simple, pure fear. As I perceive my life in danger, my body refuses to move, weak and pallid as if my blood had been drained. I stand still, my stare glued at the monster in front of me, as it slowly opens its mouth. What is this? What is happening here? On time, I thank you. The shark lets out a heavy voice that makes the core of my body tremble. I'm surprised he can speak. His voice has an eerie sound, like something non-human, attempting to imitate a human's voice, and failing. I am the Rain Ayakashi, Fukai Murasame no Wani, the monstrous shark of the Abyssal zone. Is it supposed to be abysmal? Maybe, I don't know. Rain Ayakashi? He has given me his name, but I couldn't quite catch the rest on the first try. Despite my confusion, the Rain Ayakashi continues. How shall I address you? What is my name? Correct. Haruya Shitaji. Haruya Shitaji, Shitaji Dono. Yeah? I visit you on this night for nothing else but to request your help. To ask me? Correct. The other day, incidentally, it would seem you were in a flower garden with a woman. How is she called? I'm at a loss for words. The Rain Ayakashi is referring to my senpai. Should I really mention her name here? Worry not. The monster adds as if he can sense my internal conflict. We are old friends. I solely wish to know the name she goes by here. I can't take in a single word the monster says. That monster and senpai are supposedly acquaintance? What does he mean by here? So, our senpai is, Ayakashi too, then. Let me just save here. Boop. And does that mean she has another name besides Yukito Akabane? Undoubtedly, there are many things you want to ask about. I shall talk about those later, but for that purpose, firstly, could you tell me how I should refer to her? I feel that the shark monster's tone has softened ever so slightly. For the time being, I decide to follow what he says. To begin with, I'm not brave enough person who could go against such an opponent head-on. Yukino Akabane, that's her name. Yukino Akabane, I see. The Rain Ayakashi repeats the name several times and nods. Have you been with Yukino Akabane for a long time? No, since last spring. But you seem to get along very well. I don't know, maybe so. Such an ambiguous way of declaring so. Is it because of Yukino Akabane's behavior that you are making your words vague? I can't say for sure that's not the case. It seems to be a relationship that cannot be easily explained. Is this being prying into my private life? I feel a little annoyed, but I can't really say anything back because the other party is, well, a huge shark. Pathetic. What kind of person does Yukino Akabane appear to be in your eyes? In a word, she's a weirdo. She's an unpredictable person who is always full of energy and tries to get close to other people. Yeah, that's it. She seems like she's starving to interact with other people. I'd say this is the kind of person she is. I see, yeah, I see. Humans may still look strange in her eyes. What do you mean? I shall be forthright. The air is tense. Firstly, Yukino Akabane is not human. Huh? Neither she nor I live in this world. We are foreigners who came here from another world. We are Ayakashi. We are neither humans nor birds nor beasts, neither flowers nor fish. The monster says indifferently as if reading a script. Of course my understanding can't catch up. Ayakashi. If Senpai isn't a human being, is she in the same category as the monstrous shark? Yeah, dude. I'm glad he's intelligent enough to know that. Of course, you as a human would find it hard to believe. However, the fact that I am in front of you like this is the best proof that my story is no hoax. It's just as the Rain Ayakashi says. He has hit the nail on the head, but I can't easily accept it. In other words, the reason why Yukino Akabane wants to close the distance with you isn't because he wants to observe in more detail the strange human beings she mingles with. And perhaps the kind of attitude is seen as eccentric by other humans and, therefore, they are wary of her. The monster's speculation about Senpai's position is mostly correct. And according to Dorei Nayakashi, the fact that she isn't human may have cast a shadow over the relationship between me and her. Honestly, even if you tell me all that, I don't understand. I really don't. What's going on? I guess I'm being unreasonable. However, we must move forward. Every second counts, and tonight's rain will soon stop falling. Just as the rain Ayakashi says, the rain is gradually decreasing its momentum. Maybe the shark can't appear unless it's raining? Oh, I see. Let me be blunt. Right now, I am here with an important order from my master. Such order is to bring Yukino Akabane back, even if I must kill her. Even if you have to kill... Why? Aren't you friends? It would seem that a murder case has recently been making headlines in this country. I certainly remember the serial murder case. Before we went out to the hydrangea garden, we talked about that incident. And? Alright. What about... No, you can't be saying that she... Correct. The Rain Akashi nods without saying anything. Like that, I can't continue the second sentence. No, I mean, why would she ever do such a thing? Why would she... Listen, for us to live in your world, we need life energy. To us, it's like the air that fills your lungs when you dive into the water. Yukino Akabane no longer has the life energy needed to sustain the diving. Originally, she should have already returned to our world, but she stubbornly refuses to go back. You don't want to go back to land, but you're almost out of breath. In that situation, what would you do? Surface for air before diving again? Correct. She attacks and eats humans to use them as energy to live here. Is her tyranny not too extreme? Is she really attacking people and devouring them to death? No, that's impossible. Right now, Yukino Akabane is harming the world out of resentment. I absolutely cannot forgive such an extreme display of wickedness and violence. Therefore, we are trying to subjugate her in order to maintain the peace and order in both worlds. Wait, do you have any proof about Senpai killing people? Yeah. It's a pity I can't demonstrate it to you. I should have shown you how I cut off Yukino's hand in the flower garden. Oh, so that was him. That time, was that something he did so I would see? There was one more victim that night. That was what Yukino did to restore her health. Think about it. Running around the country, killing arbitrarily, and still not getting caught. It's a very unmanageable feat for a human. Is that not so? That's right, but... Recently, she seemed to be exhausted. Isn't Yukino showing signs of being tired? It's just as the Rei Nayakashi says, I'm speechless. Half of myself is in agreement, while the other half doesn't want to admit it. Therefore, I was dispatched from my original world to take on the task of subjugating Yukino Akabane, and now I have a favor to ask of you. Will you lure Yukino Akabane out? Me? Are you asking me to cooperate? Correct. I want you to bring Yukino Akabane to a specified place at a specified time. She trusts you and therefore wouldn't be worried if it was your invitation. But that's... The rain is stopping. The Rei Nayakashi looks up at the sky and muttered, I must go. Aren't you being too one-sided here? You must tell nobody. I shall let you know in advance that I possess a keen sense of smell, and I loathe the smell of lies. In other words, if you talk about it, I will know immediately. More a threat than a warning. On the morrow at night, it will rain again. I shall listen to your reply at that time. I would like you to fully consider it until then. The Rei Nayakashi says so with its mouth wide open on purpose, its oral cavity full of intimidation dangles in front of my eyes. In front of, not if, in front of if, no, in front of my eyes. I look forward to your humane judgment and response. After saying that, the monstrous shark burrows deep into the ground. The rain has suddenly stopped. I stand in front of the entrance for a while. So who's gonna put the hole back? who's gonna bury that hole? Who's gonna fill up that hole? I open the door in a daze and drag my heavy body to the bed of my dark room. When I throw my body on the mattress, my strength suddenly disappears. My head is spinning round and round. I can't help but believe it's all a lie. Do I really have to give an answer to that monster's question by the following night when I can hardly process tonight's events as reality? I wish tomorrow would never come. Close my eyes and frantically push the hopeless thoughts out of my mind. In my head filled with darkness, the figure of Senpai remains at the end. It doesn't go away. So that's her true identity. The following day after school, in the literature club room, I throw my bag on the desk and put my face down. I attended school as usual, but I couldn't focus. Managed to somehow make it through. On tomorrow at night, it will rain again. I shall listen to your reply at that time. I would like you to fully consider it until then. I keep thinking about it, but I can't come up with an answer. Since last night, the serial murder case has increased the number of victims by 2. Maybe the Reina Akashi wasn't just talking crap. However, I can't betray Senpai. It seems she isn't human and is attacking people at night. Even though the truth is unknown, it's still a shock that I can hardly accept. I want to talk to her, but I haven't seen her since our visit to the hydrangea garden. In the first place, the Reina Akashi observing my movements from the rain. Of course, it would be a lie if I said I'm not afraid of the Reina Akashi. Even now, his gigantic gums keep flashing through my mind. That sight frightened me and made me feel my powerlessness. I'm frustrated and scared. I'm definitely not going to cooperate, but when I think about what may happen to me, I cannot but waver in my decision. My mind is in chaos. I can't think clearly. What should I do? Shitaji-kun is dead. Uh-oh. The sudden sound of the door, followed by a voice I hadn't heard in a while, makes me turn around. Hi there. Hello, President. It's been a while. Right, how have you been? I have been okay. My complexion tells me you're lying. Club President, she's as detached as always. Do you have something to do here? Sure do. I want to borrow some books. There's a bookshelf in the corner of the literature club room. The club magazine is there and the books brought in by club members are lined up so that anyone can read them freely. You came solo today? Yeah, Senpai isn't here yet. How unusual. She's always the first to arrive. Maybe she's busy today. I wonder. Seems like she didn't come to school yesterday. Oh, earth-shattering. Even though she's the very picture of good health. A picture equipped with a perpetual motion engine. Well, Senpai is always fine, though. She's not just fine, she's beyond admirable. She's like a monster. The president suddenly stops digging through the bookshelves. She tilts her head and looks up at the ceiling for a second, then turns around to face me and says, 80% of the time, mindless talk is what digs one's grave. You really dug yourself into a hole. I shot myself in the bed I made, and now I must lie on my foot. Wait, that's not how the idioms go. Yeah, I was like, what? The president nods, then she starts rummaging through the bookshelves again. Can't quite figure out what she's nodding to, but something suddenly bothers me, so I ask her. Come to think of it, both you and Yukino-senpai have written for the club magazine before. That's taboo. Eh? Reading the club magazine inside the club room is forbidden. This is a pact among the members of the literature club to maintain our mutual mental well-being. It can save lives. What? Your life, for example? My life, for example. I see, so I better not touch it now. Shitaji-kun, you should also be prepared. The fate of writing in the club magazine is equal for everyone. Such a cruel thing. I see. After stuffing several books into her bag, she stands up and stretches. Are you going home? Yeah, I'm done with what I came here for. Good work today. When I stop her, who was already heading toward the door, she turns around. I wonder if it would be strange to ask such a question out of the blue, but since I have already called out to her, I can't withdraw now. President, do you know why Yukino-senpai joined the literature club? I was never made privy to such information. Oh, so you don't know. I'm surprised by her answer. In addition to the particular wording, I'm taken aback because she doesn't seem to know a lot about Senpai. Do you think I knew? She asked as if she read through my mind. I'm unable to read the emotions of the eyes peeking behind the glasses. Weren't you also in the club with Yukino-senpai last year? That's why I thought you would know. Whoa, is she animated? Cool. At my words, she brushes her bags and sighs. She seems hesitant for a bit, but apparently decides to reply. I'm not interested in knowing such a thing, or I pretend I'm not. Huh? If you're interested in someone, that means you want to get involved with said person, right? I'm tired of doing that, so I abandoned that fight. There's no profit, but also no losses. I don't want to bet on anything. I had no idea she felt that way. This girl, she seems very similar to me. Bane-chan is amazing. It's like her chips float endlessly. Even when she loses, the holes get filled again. Maybe that's how you eventually become rich. That's what it means being worthy of respect. I understand what the president is trying to say, apparently. But is it really true? I'm sorry, could it be that I've been saying weird things all this time? Is Senpai really as invincible as the president says? Even if it's eventually filled, isn't a hole still a hole? Even if the pain disappears, isn't a wound still a wound? Yep. Well, I'm going. See ya. Yeah, good work today. She puts her hand on the door handle, but she suddenly seems to remember something and turns around. The club magazine. Why don't you take a look? I think Bani-chan wrote something. The club magazine. I'm surprised by her unexpected suggestion. Isn't reading the club magazine taboo? It's fine as long as it doesn't affect me. What a tyrant. I'm merely acknowledging my freedom and rights, and with this, I'm done here. Bye. And with that, she leaves. I'm left alone. As soon as the president closes the door, I take out the club magazine from the bookshelf. Looking at the table of contents, I see Senpai's name several times. As I approach the works one by one, I find a certain entry. Well, what does it say? Window by Yukino Akabane, first year. I like books, especially like novels, and I like looking out the window. No matter who you are, you only live once. No one can ever escape their own lives and go into someone else's. Sometimes I wonder if life is like a bug cage. Everybody's trapped in insect cages, unable to go out and into the outside world. I feel that I have no choice but to keep all parts of myself within the cage. But there are books in this world. A book is at least part of someone's life. A book is a small outside world. So to speak, it is like a window in a human room. Through the window you can see the scenery outside. There is no exit from this insect cage, but there are many open windows. And I like looking out the window. I'm still looking out the window from the literature club room. Huh, cool. I'm dazed for a while. When I regain my composure, I think of Senpai. What kind of life did she live in her original world? How did she come to this world? I'm trying to imagine it. A sound takes me by surprise and I turn around. It's the second time today that I turn toward the door after I hear someone's voice. There she is. Hello, Haruya-kun. Senpai. She comes into the room stumbling and sits down in her usual seat. Her complexion looks noticeably bad. On my end, I hurriedly put the club magazine back on the shelf. Still, I don't think it's a bad thing to read the club magazine in the literature club room. Haruya, that's taboo. The club president said so too. The president? Did she come here today? Yeah, to borrow books. Oh, really? I'd have liked to see her. She says lazily, resting her hand on her chin. I wonder if her tiredness hasn't gone away. Feel free to read the club magazine. So it isn't taboo for you? Nope, I don't really care. I've already read what I wanted to read though, so I don't take it out again. Instead, I sit on my usual chair. Are you not feeling well? Kinda, I've been tired lately. For a second, she looked exhausted. However, she suddenly corrects her sitting posture. Hey, Haruya. Yeah? She calls out to me and speaks in a serious tone. Instinctively, I sit upright too. This is just hypothetical. If I had to leave here soon, would you be okay? What's wrong all of a sudden? There's nothing wrong, but yesterday while I was resting at home, I had this thought. I was wondering what you were doing at school without me. I laughed by myself because I couldn't imagine you being alone in this room. Am I being rude? No, I can't really imagine it either. I see, if I'm getting your stamp of approval, then I guess it's really fine. Is it even possible for you to leave? You love our literature club. Is that how you see me? That's what my intuition tells me. Your intuition is spot on. But well, I think I could deal with it. I was alive and well before coming here, so I don't think of it as some inseparable bond or anything. But I think the way we live keeps changing, and so do our needs. For example, cigarettes and alcohol for adults. They didn't know the taste of it as children, and yet many can't let go of them when they grow up. Isn't that the same with our club? She sighs. She gets up from her chair and leans against the window, with her back toward me. She continues talking. I have to graduate. Isn't graduation still some time away? That's right. Well, I'm getting a little sentimental. You see, yesterday I lost my perfect attendance at both club and school. I'm a little down. She looks back at me with a troubled smile. She said my intuition is good. If so, then surely this is a roundabout way of saying goodbye. It's just my guess, but she must have realized the situation she's in after being attacked by the Rain Ayakashi. Oh, I see. Then after thinking it through for a day, she has shown up to club again after coming to a decision. She also most likely believes I know nothing. But she's wrong about that, as I have somehow been involved in it. I don't know everything, but at least I do know what the Rain Ayakashi told me. Senpai. Yeah? I have to answer her question. If you were to leave soon, would I be okay? That's what you asked. Oh yeah, can you give me a reply? I could tell at first glance she looks like usual, but I can tell her there's a hint of anxiety on her face. If you were gone, Senpai, I want to save here. Boop. Yeah, save here. Let's see. How about we go to... I don't want... You know what? I can't. Because it's time for me to stop and prepare for work. That's how life goes. So yeah, this is Absent in the Rain. Next video, which would we choose? I will live on. I probably gotta choose it. I don't want that, even if it were to kill me, maybe. So yeah, Absent in the Rain. What a twist. She's a fucking demon. Ayakashi means demon, right? So yeah, if you want to try the game for yourselves, the links are in the description. That is all for today. Stay safe and take care of yourselves.